We are now entering the most difficult phase in the rapidly changing battle against the virus.
You don't know who could have the virus.
My mother and my stepfather both tested positive.
This thing is moving at a rapid rate where it's killing people very quickly.
The novel coronavirus has made its way to the United States with a confirmed case.
There's currently no vaccine outbreak.
The world economy has been rocked by a
Our lives is more important than money, right?
Wow, I can't believe I have it.
It's been a big impact on my family.
When it hit San Antonio, I was just really nervous.
My business has 100% been affected by this.
When it hit San Antonio, I was just really nervous for my friends and of course for my mother and just for all of us, you know. Again, it was just, you knew this thing was going to be big.
I work at the Alamo Dome, and it's a place where we host to 65 to 72,000 people, and we all touch the same door, the same handle. So that, in a sense, was terrifying because you can't see where this virus is going.
You know, there's different spectrum being on one side where, you know, people think it's the end of the world, they're not going to leave their house, they're disinfecting everything, all the way to the other side where people don't think it's a big deal at all and they're having, you know, COVID parties.
When we did start to accumulate cases here, it was scary, and you didn't really, I think everyone fell into this limbo of like uncertainty. What is it? How long is it gonna take to fix? Can I go back to work? Can I touch a gas pump? Can I go to my mailbox safely? Can I open, like all these weird things where suddenly you just didn't feel safe.
For me, the big worry is, God, if I infected somebody and I was the reason they got sick or the reason someone died, right? Like I couldn't imagine.
Infectious disease expert says it's too soon for people to hang out. Gatherings of 50 or more people be canceled or postponed.
We were just, you know, really worried and concerned because we have over 5,000 visitors coming to the courthouse and the Justice Center. And it's people from all over, you know, the counties. They're coming in to get married or get divorced or to sit on a jury panel. That was one of our biggest concerns, is how we were gonna, once it hit somewhere downtown or in one of our facilities, how we were gonna handle that. And then, you know, luckily we put a lot of protocols in place very early on, and we didn't see any positive cases in the courthouse or the Justice Center and our maintenance shop until recently.
We try to limit the interactions with the public. We have to be in the front line of the society, and we have to be exposed to somebody. Before I left the police department, there was a couple of calls that I had to go on that a lady had a fever, she's breaking things in the house. I have no choice. You know, that's my job, is to help people that are, you know, call 911. I really feel for nurses, first responders, because they have no choice. It doesn't matter. It could be the worst strain it could be something that kills you, and you have to do it.
It was very scary because of the environment in which I work in, which is very close to people. I think that we handle things very well in our own agency. The protocols that we put in place to make sure that we contained it as much as possible. So I think our impression, when we found out there were cases here in San Antonio, was how to react and be proactive for when it does happen, not what do we do when it, wait until it happens and then start acting. So I think that a lot of our senior command staff made really good decisions.
This new declaration restricts restaurants to drive-up, carry-out, and delivery service only. Bars, gyms, bingo parlors, bowling alleys, health studios, commercial amusement businesses, and other non-essential businesses will be prohibited from operating. Grocery stores, gas stations, and other businesses providing essential services will of course remain open.
The coronavirus pandemic.
Completely shut down these businesses or curb their hours.
Limiting certain businesses and closing others, including bars.
I work in the news, and this is a huge news event.
I think it was a smart move. We all have to take something for the team. You know, we have to lose money and stuff like that, but our lives is more important than money, right? So I think it was a good idea, and we did respected that quarantine because we wanted to sweep our own side of the city, you know, make it safe for everybody, not just for us, but for our family and our friends and the customers.
For some, the stay-at-home order is good because, like me in real estate, I can work from home. But for some, it's bad. If I'm a business owner and I have to be at work, then that's how my family eats. I don't care what diseases are out there. I'm going to go work for my, to produce for my family.
I think one of the things that we all started to realize, especially with the economic crisis and the downfall that was coming out of this, was that we're all so connected. And if one business fails, then the people they do business with can't do business with you. They fail. Then the people that they do business with can't do business with them, and then they fail. And it was like this really strange domino effect with the economy.
And for me as a business owner, telling my employees that we're not gonna be open for a while, that was tough because, we started looking at the future now, right there and then, knowing about the rent, the mortgages, the bills, and everything. All that creates a recipe for anxiety and panics. It was tough, and it affected not only my business but all of us around us, our lives. This pandemic robbed us from everything.
My business has 100% been affected by this. I mean, my business pretty much revolves around the NBA and around community events, public appearances, marketing. So many people being affected by this pandemic and losing their jobs and losing their income and kind of having to pinch pennies to make it day by day.
It's been very sad to see close friends of mine that have had businesses shut down or have to lay off a bunch of employees that are like family to them because of this scenario and the situation.
Bars have to close at noon starting today, shutting down restaurants and bars.
Businesses may be affected by this.
For me, with me being a trainer, it was like, well, shoot, man, I'm not going to make any money. At that point, that's when I really started kind of educating myself on the virus and everything so that, I could really take those precautions not to spread the virus or catch it myself or spread it to anybody else. I had to kind of shift my mindset on what it was that I needed to do. And, people were so anxious to, just get out the house. What happened was I actually, where a lot of people's businesses that are other trainers, they went down, mine actually went up. I had more inquiries than ever for personal training.
So for us, being in real estate, the market's still been good, right? Like when this whole thing happened, we had a lot of people saying, hey, we want, like when the prices drop, we want to buy some Corona deals, right? Like our price is going to drop and it'll be a great time to buy. I think COVID has accelerated things. It's going to start a lot of new things, but I think more than anything, it's just accelerating things forward a little faster.
We also received news from the city that they had furloughed 270 employees, and my department and myself were one of the departments that were let go. And it was very hard because I wanted to finally, after college, to be in a field where I can take my expertise and it's just like dreams over. And it's really hard because you want to do better with your creativity, but you can't because you can't go to the office, you can't go to work. The new reality is right here in your bedroom. For me, that was the biggest struggle because, you know, we try to find these escapes to get out, and it was just something that we all kind of just had to accept as the new normal and the reality.
So the main way I was hit in COVID was through my family. Obviously, my business took a big hit. We were closed straight away, but just before the pandemic started, my father passed away on February 28th. I wasn't able to be there at my own father's funeral, and I still haven't been able to go home to see my mother. And actually, I haven't been able to get back to the UK. Obviously, for the business side, yeah, it was an absolute hit. We had to close down, and we're still closed. So there's zero business I can do as a performer right now in the theater.
I launched a nonprofit last year that has been dramatically affected. In particular, lost 100% funding.
By working together and avoiding behavior that endangers others in the community over the next several weeks, we will get through this as quickly as possible.